Welcome to Redtastic. Story 1. Anyway, my friends and I have been traveling every new year since we were 16. And we are in our early 20s now. It's a friend group of 6 people, 3 girls, 3 guys. And naturally, we all dated someone from the group at some point in high school. The guy I used to date and me broke up in 2020 but stayed friends. He found a new girlfriend a few months after that. Let's call her Amy. But I was okay with it and we all continued to hang out. Now, the new year, 2021, is coming up and we start to plan our trip. We were supposed to go to Greece. Usually, I'm the one talking to the agencies and trying to save as much money as we can. Everything is fine and going well until about a month before the trip. My ex-best friend comes over and tells me that Amy is uncomfortable with me going on a trip because everyone is coupled up and I was single, and given my history with her boyfriend, she felt awkward. I felt sorry because I never got the feeling that she didn't like me or anything. So I asked if that means that she's not coming or what. Turns out that she still wanted to come and just didn't want me there. I was kinda hurt by this, but even more when the rest of my friends agreed that maybe it would be better if I didn't come, so there would be no drama on the trip. Anyways, I didn't go. Kinda stayed away from Amy and my ex since then, and stopped hanging out as much with all of them. Not long ago, Amy and ex broke up. I don't know why. And now this year's trip is coming up. I already have plans with my roommate and we are going to Amsterdam. When my friends learned about this, they just assumed they were coming with us as well. I told them that my roommate and I are going alone and if they want to go, they can plan it for themselves. But that this is not a group trip. It's petty, I know, but feels right to do to them what they did to me. Anyways, they called me some names and we had a fight. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe I am in the wrong. I mean, I'm ending years-long friendship over some stupid trip. So am I the a-hole? Edit. Wow, guys, this really blew up. And it's a bit overwhelming having thousands of people giving you advice. Thank you for your rewards. It's very kind. But as far as I know, they do cost money, so please don't waste it on me. Anyway, it's 1:45 a.m. and I need to sleep on all of this. I'm grabbing coffee with some of my friends tomorrow before classes, so I'll let you know how it goes. Update. Anyway, there isn't really much to tell you all. I'm still going on a trip with my roommate. We actually got a few more people to come, so it's more like a group thing now. None of my old friends. Considering my old friend group, I did see some of them a few times and cleared some things up. My ex was actually the first one to apologize to me. We talked a lot about everything and he is actually separating himself from the group as well for a bit. Not because of this. And we are on good terms now again. 2 other friends came as well and apologized. They said that they believed it was ridiculous to bring Amy since the beginning, but of course, didn't say anything for the sake of peace. I get it, and honestly, I'm not mad at them anymore. At least they are sorry. And for the rest, we are not talking anymore, so I guess that's it. Thank you for all of your rewards and upvotes. But more importantly for your advice, I couldn't have done it without you guys. All the love. Not the a-hole OP. Your trip with your roommate was already being planned. Your other friends can't just invite themselves. There might be a touch of pettiness in your decision not to include them at the last minute. But I don't blame you for that at all. They cast you aside for a new friend instead of being loyal. I think you may have outgrown this old friend group and it's time to move on, especially since 3 of them still haven't given you the apology that they owe you. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. You were kicked out of a trip you were planning and your friends ignored you for a whole year. Now they are acting entitled and don't think you should go on a vacation without them. They are not friends. Sounds like they just used you to be their travel agent. If they contact you again, tell them you just assumed they were making their own plans. You've already made yours. Oh yes, the old, you need to let go of the past because now it's negatively affecting me line. Except they didn't care how negatively their actions affected you, did they? Friendships drift, and that friend group relationship took a huge hit from their actions. actions for which they haven't apologized. Again, they're saying this because they know they treated you wrong and are ashamed, but are redirecting that energy back at you. Not the a-hole, OP. Enjoy your trip with your roommate. Not the a-hole. This was a tradition between 6 people who have some internal dating history. When one of them adds person 7, you get excluded. You were sad, you recovered, you moved on to newer and better friends, and reinvented the tradition to suit you and the new friends. It's called moving on. They ended it when they excluded you. You just moved on. Just because they are in the majority does not make them less wrong. They did not care to exclude you last year. If that Amy chick was still around, they would not be caring this year either. So why should you? Story 2. Yesterday night, I, 23 male, was working on my dining table with my roommate, 23 male, in a class we are both taking. During this time, his girlfriend, 24 female, decided to start making some alcoholic drinks and place them on the table behind my laptop. We continue on working for some time, during which time the girlfriend brings a laptop and places it on the table besides the mug. This full mug is hidden from my view behind my laptop screen. It is, however, visible to everyone else. During the next 30 minutes, no one makes me aware of the proximity of these items to each other and my laptop. We start comparing some work, and in the process of turning my laptop, I knock over the mug and spill the liquid on my laptop and the 2018 MacBook Pro on the table. I immediately start helping with the cleanup and, not knowing better, prep a garbage bag full of rice. I tell them to shut the laptop off and to contact a repair shop. They instead put the laptop and rice bag in a room with a dehumidifier running. We all part ways for the night, and at 11 p.m. I receive a text that the laptop is dead. Knowing some things about water damage, I told them to not attempt turning it on, but instead reaching out to repair shops. We did not talk that night when I arrived, but the next morning my roommate, who I considered to be a good friend, said we needed to talk about helping out by paying for a new laptop. I reluctantly agree, but say we should discuss this later. We reconvene around dinner time the day after the fateful event. Right from the start, I'm being cornered and I'm hit with the statement that I must dish out over $1,000 so the girlfriend can purchase a brand new laptop. I asked if they talked to any repair shops, as I have seen component-level repairs on YouTube before. They immediately shoot down that idea and say it is irreparable. I ask what the value of the 5-year-old laptop is, but the computer pro that she is says that since she replaced the battery last year, it is practically new. I see that I'm not going to win this 2 versus 1. Leave and hope that a night's sleep will help cool things over. Today, I am still waiting for them to reconsider their stance and take it to a repair shop. Am I the a-hole for thinking that an honest mistake is not a valid reason to force me to help with upgrading to a brand new laptop? Update. After reconsidering my relationship with my roommate and what I value that at, I decided to go back in person to talk with her before she goes back home for the week. I entered their room and started with going over how I interpreted the events and asked if they agreed with my description. They agreed, but did not like the fact that I said the mug was right beside the laptop, or that I could not see it. I offered to pay half of whatever the repair fee may be, or $400, which was half of the same model I saw online. She did not like this. Firstly, she did not want to wait the time it took to get repaired, and she said she needed a laptop for school. I offered the day before one of my old Surface laptops, which was a perfect note-taking machine, but she rejected that. She started pulling out the original price she paid for it 5 years ago and finding some outlandish authorized resellers for 2 times what I found online. The Apple trade-in value for the laptop is under $500. I tried to say that this was more of a courtesy, generous gesture in my opinion, and that over $400 was asking a lot. This was finally met with a threat to take the matter to small claims court. I left the house at that point and tried calling my university's legal hotline to see my liability. The fact that I was threatened with legal action by a good friend's girlfriend, while he sat in the corner saying nothing, is the point that saddened me the most that day. If anyone knows about legal guidelines or resources for matters like this, I would appreciate it. Not the a-hole OP. I don't think you did anything wrong and seem to be willing to help pay for a laptop of equal value. I would look up the value of her model and consider the max amount that you owe her, but honestly, I don't know that I would foot the whole bill since it was a total accident. Also, a new battery isn't a new computer. She has a certain model and that's what it's worth. If they don't go to a repair shop, it's their problem and you don't owe them a thing. If she wants a new laptop, she can put the money you give her for the value of this one towards it. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. If I've learned anything from the People's Court, it is that you replace the value of the laptop at its current age. $479 on Amazon. Also, if I were you, I wouldn't budge until they take your suggestion and check a repair shop. It sounds like they're trying to scam you into paying for a brand new laptop. Not the a-hole. But I think it's fishy that she suddenly decided to make alcoholic drinks at her boyfriend's apartment and left it near her laptop. And conveniently not visible from your point of view and not move it for about the next 30 minutes from the same position. And now it's irreparable? Yeah, I call bullshit. Tell them that you will take it to a guy or shop you know and get a quotation for it and pay that price. Or else pay for the current used value of that model. Looking for a new laptop when half the mistake is hers is more than entitlement. You don't need to buy her a new one, just pay her for the repair bill and that's it. If she wants to take it to small claims court, let her. If you have any text messages, emails, whatever, save those and make copies. She won't get what she's looking for and she will have wasted lots of time. Don't get suckered into paying more than you have to though. You didn't see the mug, and it's not your fault. Even if you saw it, what kind of idiot puts liquid next to an electronic device? If I put down that mug there, I wouldn't charge my friend or my buddy's girlfriend or boyfriend. That would be on me, and it should be on her. But legally, she might be entitled to the repair fee, or at least half of the repair fee, depending on how the judge sees it. Story 3. My wife Katie passed away in December 2018 after her long battle with cancer. Her family and I, 32 male, were of course devastated, even if we knew it was unfortunately terminal. Around that time, we were still taking care of Katie's niece, 6 female, due to family problems. But with Katie sick, we had to hire a friend of a friend to help us as a nanny. His name's Jason. He was with us for 8 months until Katie passed away, and even after her niece went back with her mom, he still came around every so often to see how I am. We became very good friends, and a year later we fell deeply in love. It was very unexpected for me, and I wasn't ready for anyone to know yet. We kept our relationship a secret for another year and a half. So just adding some information that way no one gets confused. Jason is F to M, as in female to male transgender. The reason I bring it up is because he got pregnant with our child. After finding out, we decided to come out as a couple to everyone. Then a few months later, we got married. Katie's family soon heard about it and they weren't happy. They all assumed we started some sort of affair before she passed, no matter how many times I tried to clarify the truth to them. I didn't have contact with anyone in her family after that. Our son is 4 months old. Last weekend we decided to have a family vacation with just the 3 of us. Up to the cabin Katie and I bought a few years ago right by a lake. We never really got a chance to drive up there after she got sick, so we only ever rented it out. To my surprise, Katie's family shows out of nowhere. I know when we first bought it, she let one of her sisters use it for a weekend, but I didn't think she still kept the key after all this time. Everyone, her parents, siblings, and cousins showed up to have a barbecue for Mother's Day, while we are there taking advantage of our son napping to enjoy some alone time. You can imagine how freaking awkward it was. They wanted to stay, but we refused to leave. Her mom got upset because she just wants to enjoy this time with the family without being reminded what a terrible husband I was. Since Katie told them years ago they can use it whenever, and she loved being around lakes. It ended with me being yelled at by her mom and sister outside because we weren't going to leave for them to have the place to themselves. I never even knew that Katie had told them this. They all left pretty mad, and while my husband tried to be reassuring, it still left me wondering. It's my place after all, and I never knew they were still using this place on occasion. Am I the a-hole? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. Really, dude, you should just sell it and get another place if you and Jason can afford it. You need to remove this connection between you and these people because if you were going to try and keep it, you would need to invest in a bunch of court measures to keep them away, and then ultimately just wait to see whether or not they want to destroy the place to spite you. No cabin is worth all this trouble. Not the a-hole. Following everyone else's advice is probably right. If you still feel something for the niece or someone else in the family, you could also be the bigger person and write them a nice but clear letter, telling them they have no legal or moral right to stay at the cabin, but that you will allow them to do so anyway, out of respect for Katie, with your knowledge and permission for each visit, of course. First of all, massive congratulations to you and your husband on your new baby. And also, sorry for the loss of your wife. Glad that you have found happiness again. Absolutely not the a-hole. Change the locks and send them letter, others have said. It's a shame it's come to this. You sound like a reasonable person. And I'm sure if they would have asked in the first place they could use the cabin now and again, you would have said yes. So they have brought this on themselves. Hope everything works out.